so you technically can build muscle at maintenance or even in a deficit. But that's only going to be possible to a significant degree in select cases. And if you're currently within a lower to moderate body fat level, and your primary goal is to add overall size and strength, make no mistake, you need a calorie surplus to maximize your results. And if you have a higher daily energy expenditure or a smaller appetite, that's not always easy to do. However, by the end of this video, it will be. You'll know exactly how to hit your daily calories for muscle growth without having to revolve your entire life around your diet, or feel bloated and uncomfortable 24/7. So let's jump into it. Alright, tip number 1, which has to be mentioned up front before going into any of the specific dietary strategies, and that's to consider whether you actually need to be eating more calories than you currently are. So many people out there have the wrong idea about bulking and think it means cramming their face 2, 4, 7 all day long until it hurts both physically and mentally, and that more food always equals more gains. But that's definitely not the case. This is a big fat sloppy mistake I personally made in the past as well, pun intended, and it's very important to keep in mind that your body can only divert a relatively small amount of protein and calories toward muscle growth in a given day. And beyond around 200 to 300 calories above maintenance, the majority of what you take in beyond that point is just going to be stored as fat-building quality. Muscle is a long-term game of very small increases gradually stacked up over time. Usually no more than a couple pounds of additional body weight per month if you're going at a proper pace. And so don't assume that just because you aren't seeing significant changes on the scaler in the mirror every single week, you need to immediately go and increase your calories. It's entirely possible that your current intake is just fine and that you simply need to be more patient. But if your results truly have stagnated, the scale hasn't moved at all for several weeks, your strength has plateaued, here are a few helpful options if you do need to bump your calories up, but you're struggling with appetite. So, tip number 2 is to increase your fat intake. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that since the goal is to build more muscle, that means they should just eat more protein. Not only is muscle growth going to be already maxed out at around 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily, but protein is also the most satiating of the 3 macronutrients, and it has the highest thermic effect. We're up to 35% of its total calories are burned through digestion alone. As long as your total calories are within the proper range and you're getting enough protein to optimize hypertrophy, the rest of your macronutrient distribution really just comes down to personal preference. And since fats contain 9 calories per gram, which is more than double that protein in carbs, that's going to be the easiest and most efficient way to hit your surplus with a smaller volume of food. Nuts, butters, seeds, oils, chocolate, avocado, coconut milk, fatty fish. These are all great sources to consider. 1 handful of almonds is around 200 calories. Right there. A tablespoon of olive oil is 100 calories. Just 50 grams of dark chocolate is 300. 1 cup of coconut milk is over 500. There's no need to be afraid of fat, as long as you don't go overboard, and adding in just 1 or 2 of these sources might be all you need. Tip number 3 is to eat more junk food. Okay, I know some people are immediately going lose their mind on that one. So let me rephrase it to say, it's okay to consume a controlled amount of higher calorie processed food, assuming the majority of your diet is still coming from nutrient-dense, minimally processed whole foods. If you're otherwise healthy and active, your total calorie intake is at the proper level, and it contains around 80 plus of clean food, adding in some higher fat, higher sugar treat food to make up the other 20. That's not going to hurt you, and it's one helpful way to get into a consistent calorie surplus, since those foods pack a lot more calories into a smaller volume. If you've been brainwashed into this old-school bodybuilding 2-4-7 clean eating mentality, all sugar is bad, all processed food is evil, and it's going to cause you to shrivel up and die on the spot, you're trying to cram down nothing but chicken breast brown, rice and broccoli all day long. That's going to make it a lot harder, especially if you have a small appetite. So whether it's a few cookies or a chocolate bar, some ice cream, pizza burger, whatever, that's okay in moderation to bump your total calories up, and because it's just enjoyable. In general, tip number 4 is to consume more of your calories in liquid form. It's really not that difficult to whip up a homemade shake in the 800 to 1200 calorie